good, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. It is Thursday, Friday. Nadesco, Wayno, and Academics here. What's good, my friends?
Good morning.
Chilling, man.
What's up?
I haven't been this excited for a Thursday in a while. So, normally during the news week and how things pan out, by the time we get to Thursday, we're either continuing conversations we've been having through the week, but just somehow news don't really break on Thursday. They usually break over the weekend, then we talk about it Monday.
I called Academics yesterday at like 3 o'clock. I expected him fully to be asleep or, I don't know, playing Fortnite. He answered the phone.
Really?
He was up,
Fortnite
excited,
was up,
watching the beef on Twitter. Man, yesterday was a little bit crazy. So during Grammy weekend, of course, Nicki Minaj and her husband had a little confrontation with Meek Mill at a store, and we were hoping that was sort of the end of it, but clearly it was not. So yesterday, Meek allegedly, I haven't seen the meme, liked a meme about Nicki's husband, which really set it off. So they went back and forth in a series of pretty nasty tweets, starting with, Nicki accusing him of saying having trigger fingers, which turned to Twitter fingers, adding that he's obsessed with the queen. She went on to say that basically he was shook during that confrontation in LA, and then accused him of being violent towards her and women in his family. So Meek responded by saying, the only way you can try to kill my career is to say I beat women. Then he brought up her brother's rape conviction, accused her of knowing about it all along, and added, for clarification, I don't hit women, and I won't let my interviews be filled with questions about her or any situation to do with her when I come out to do press for the album. I think no devil's tricks. This escalated very, very quickly. Are you guys surprised that it got this ugly so fast?
Yeah, you a pro here. You went through that shit mad quick. That was mad tweets.
There's a lot of
that shit was
tweets,
like
but
3 hours.
I figured we're going to spend some time on it, so.
That was a pretty good recap.
Thank you.
What was the question now?
Are you guys surprised that this escalated so quickly? And now they've been separated for a while now. Like, why are these things bubbling up in the past 2 weeks?
The timing of it, yeah. The timing of it, yeah, because I thought without that video, which seemed to be shot by amateur, I hate when people, like, they're shooting a video but they're scared to shoot it. And that's the video, of course, in the, I guess, Louis store. I don't know what store that is. That confrontation was filmed, but I didn't expect either party to speak on it.
Yeah.
And I thought anything that would come from that would probably be real low, not on Twitter.
Right.
So I was definitely shocked, especially by the timing of it. And also, like, I was a little bit shocked by why Nicki was set off,
Yeah, I mean, like, I saw the meme was funny. Like,
what was the meme? That's
basically what it was.
Meme will get you in your feelings.
So basically what it was is that it was the pitch. Somebody took Kenneth, right, from a picture from him and Nicki, and put him in the window of like Jimmy Jazz to make it look like he's a mannequin, like basically saying like his outfit is like a mannequin outfit, like he buys everything off the mannequin, doesn't put it together. It was funny, like it was, so of course, it was crazy as how did people on Instagram find that, because it doesn't tell you when people like shit anymore.
The activity tab is gone, man.
Yeah, the activity tab is gone, so people would just be searching like for anything, but that's what set it off. I didn't think that, it would garner all of this shit, but I thought the meme was funny. So I think if he's seen the meme, he would think it was funny. If somebody did that to me, I would think it was funny. It wasn't like disrespectful.
Yeah.
But that mixed with all the shit that just happened, I didn't know it was gonna get this nasty though.
It sounds dumb that it sparked from a meme, but I think it's kind of been building up for like kind of about a year now, right? So it's really from that song, man, that never got released.
Yeah, the Balenciagas with the bootcut jeans.
So really, the meme got made because of the unreleased song. Because it was a Philly meme page that did it. And by the way, you got to realize that Nicki and Meek, they still share some fans that probably still follow both of them because they were probably really in love with that relationship. But they're probably looking at this shit like, wait, so you're gonna the whole joke about it is like, yo, you shamed him into dressing like this. It's like, yo, this dude's wearing the tightest pants ever since you clowned him. You get me? And you liking shit like that, of course, if Nicki sees it, I could imagine Nicki's also thinking, yo, my man rode for me at the store. Yeah. I got to ride for him on the gram or on Twitter. And I just don't know why she would do that, though. I think she's smarter than that. Even though I think she's impulsive a little bit, I don't want to use the word emotional. I'll just say impulsive, but I think she is calculated. And when she does that on the gram, everybody know what Twitter beefs are. I've been saying it's better to be liked than to be right. So while she might have a point yo, Meek, why are you liking pics that's clowning my dude? Why my guy's on your mind a year after we broke it up? Why she might have a point? Like, Nicki has kind of reverted in likability points. Remember when we said like she was falling back and maybe she was gaining? Mm-hmm. She was never gonna win this little Twitter battle thing. Plus, you gotta realize, in very actual facts, it's like about a month or a couple weeks after her brother got sentenced. Like, she should lay low from any public feuds dispatch.
I mean, do you think this helps her or hurt her as she just previewed that new single? It is more publicity.
I think it just plays more into, you know, people calling her a bad person. You know, that whole picture that's painted on her from the shit that happened with her and Ack. You know what I mean? To the shit that's happening now. Like, if she would have did this, I would have thought that these tweets would have came right after the video shit.
Right.
Not over the liking the picture. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, it's like, okay, no, memes just happen. Like, nobody could defeat that. Like, even if, I don't think it's so much of a thing of him being on Meek's mind. I just think like that, it was a funny meme, mm-hmm. right? Now, of course, there's history there, so it's gonna be played that way, but now it doesn't help her at all. Like, it doesn't help her at all. I mean, it's attention, but it's not the right attention. Like, you know how people say there's no such thing as bad publicity? Right. Yes, there is. Like,
listen, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen.
What?
And if I'm wrong, I'll come on here and be like, damn, I didn't see that coming. Like, Nicki, and she's been trying to do this, but if she's about to drop a project, as I predict, within the next 6 months, mm-hmm. she has to try to tug on the heartstrings and the sympathy card of, like, fans. Mm-hmm. We're going to see some interview of her crying, either trying to expound upon the allegations of Meek hitting her. Oh, because, you know, she never really got into the relationship fallout.
You really think that would happen?
I don't believe that.
Because, listen, all right, I'm just talking about fallout and reaction.
Right.
Like, again, other than the Barbs, and you know, the Barbs are super loyal. You got, like, no matter...
Yeah,
they're loyal to defend, but they're not loyal to buy that album. That's what I say. Like, okay. They're not loyal when it comes to streaming music.
Okay, true. But, like, the regular fans or casual fans, a lot of people were like, you know what, Nicki, we've heard this story too many times.
So you guys feel like watching that, everyone who was not a Barb felt like Meek was in the right yesterday?
No, they felt
General
like this
opinion.
they felt like this was like the umpteenth, like, thing to contextualize what type of person they think Nicki is. Mm-hmm. And just like even how Meek painted, it was like, yo, this is a very negative, confrontational, just bad person. It feels like someone that we all got, like, hypnotized by this Barbie image. And we've heard, whether it was K. Michelle or other people, just say, yo, hey, behind the scenes, that ain't who she is.
Yeah.
And I feel like now, just publicly, you know, we're all seeing it, and just all casual fans are like, you know what? We're not hypnotized by how good your music is anymore. We're just tired of you.
Yeah.
These things, we're not getting your side on.
I didn't believe the hitting thing, because he was like, yeah, it's convenient for you to say that I put my hands on you now, but not just that. I believe that if he did put his hands on her, it wouldn't have been no talking when they seen each other in the store. Like, if her husband known that, and for the person that everybody says that he is, when he seen him, it wouldn't have been no, yo, let me holler at you. It wouldn't have been none of that. It would have been him running up to him and them having an altercation. I don't believe that shit.
About the domestic violence thing, I'm a little torn on it. I don't want to just, despite whatever, even how she's acted even with me, I want to just throw, like, those allegations out the window, but I definitely want to contextualize them.
Okay.
Previous relationships, Safari definitely detailed that Nicki used to beat him. So,
right.
So whatever situation with him, or actually Nicki and Meek, we don't really know the full picture, and we hear these allegations, but this is another thing why I can't throw what she's saying completely out the window. Meek has admitted during that time he was on some drugs.
Okay.
And that may have you act out of character, as we saw he did. Now, I'm not here to sit and say he did it, but I'm not here to either tell her, like, yo, just because right now, like, you're looking crazy publicly, we don't believe you with that shit.
Right.
And I'll stop there with it.
I'll just say, as a man,
the timing was definitely like,
brother, as a man, if my woman told me that a nigga put their hands on them at any time, I don't give a fuck if it was a year, 2 years ago. When I see you, I'm not talking to you. When I see you, I'm running in your mouth. So that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why I don't believe that it happened, because if it happened, I just see a physical altercation. There's no talking. at that point. Because of course you're gonna, all right, you're not only are you defending your woman, but you're gonna feel away as a man. You're gonna feel away about that somebody hurt the person you love physically. Forget all the mental shit. I'm talking about physical. You're gonna do something about that immediately. So that's the only reason why I'm saying I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
And it came then, like when they was arguing, you didn't hear her say, "Nigga, you kicked me," or you know what I mean? You da 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 da. She ain't say none of that.
Yeah, I think some strong allegations was made back and forth. But even what Meek said about her, and I guess it's like, you know Meek more than 99.9% of people, just period, in terms of like the world. But like as fans, we're just kind of watching what we see publicly. We're trying to piece it together. Like, damn, well, we see this, we see that. Like, shit, Meek saying that Nicki knew her brother was raping kids. Like, that to me, that was like, that was super alarming. You know?
But I mean, the case has been going on for a long time. So it's like, I mean, no, people haven't really, I think people really didn't speak out of it out of respect for her. But if the case was going on, as long as it was going on, and if you read the details of the case, you didn't know nothing. Like, you know, I'm not saying that he knew if it was happening or not, but this was a situation that was going on in her family. I think people was just being respectful because that shit is tough to deal with. Of course, you can't say, oh, okay, well, if my brother did something, I'm just standing next to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's that she's just standing next to him. It's more like that's a touchy situation. Even, you know, he was convicted. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if this was happening, that's her brother. So I'm pretty sure she might have known about it, but nobody's just spoken on it at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I'm saying. I don't know if what he's saying is that, but we're not gonna act like don't nobody, like we just knew in the media
No, I completely get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
One thing I'll definitely say though, between Nicki and Meek, right? I think just seeing how, you know, their personality was and how when they were together and like some of the stuff that they both did, I think we could have foreseen this coming. But usually we don't see this with like celebrity couples or celebrity exes. Like,
Such
you know, like imagine one day Drake gets online and says, yo, Rihanna, you bum bitch. This is, you know what I mean? Like, that sounds crazy. Like, yo, you ain't come to my concert, but I see you with, you know, like that sounded crazy. I didn't think this was gonna happen, but shit, just Nicki and Meek. You know what I mean? To be honest, and I heard this thought from someone else, which I really started thinking about to say, maybe this is true. Maybe there is still love there. You know, maybe there is
love.
Not any sort of
this is what toxicity
toxic
is.
love, yeah.
This is toxicity.
Nah,
y'all
man.
cuss.
They just listen,
It can't
man.
be love after
That's
this.
not no
It
love.
got
That's
too serious and nasty yesterday for there to be love.
That ain't no love. That's just you said something about me, I'ma defend myself, and then I'ma defend myself. It's just back
Shit,
and
we
forth.
thought the same. Well, obviously that's not like an intimate relationship, but we thought the same with Drake and Meek, and they're like best buds. So
the same.
How is that the
That's
same
not the
thing?
same thing, brother.
what I'm saying is that
Academics.
we thought it was at the point of no return.
Okay,
and
but I think romantic love is a little bit different. There's a lot more hurt feelings there.
This is
than
way beyond the
friendly
point of
things.
no
What are
return.
you talking
Oh, okay, all right, maybe this was okay. Once you accuse someone of like domestic violence, or you accuse someone of like knowingly like sitting and being passive while their brother's raping, that's obviously crossing the line.
Yes.
But if I kind of look back at some of the steps before, like I could possibly say that they both were still interested in what the other was doing.
Yeah, I
fair
mean, that's fair, you know, but they're both highly public figures. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just unfortunate to see this play out.
Yeah.
Like, this didn't need to happen publicly. It sucks to watch. And Meek had a good point. What did he say? Like, Jeff Bezos is running up billions by the minute, and here we are, like, beefing with each other. Like,
And that's why, my fault. That's why it's a big club that we can't get in sometimes. For real, like, because motherfuckers be like, oh, word? Nah.
I don't want this to be the point of no return. I still would wish they could work this out and be amicable.
Yeah, sure. She told Meek the same thing she told me. See you soon, nigga. Meek better get the security right.
She hasn't seen you, though, so you're good.
Yeah, because I've been ducking. Duh, Meek be in the streets. Like, I like the fact that he reeled himself back in. Mm-hmm. I don't think 2015 Meek is reeling himself back in at all.
Now he's different.
So I'm really impressed by that. And also, you know, he acknowledged, like, he did say certain things that made me think. He said, yo, Nicki, your bag is getting low. And it was like, yo, most people in the industry, like, basically, like everybody kind of knows who you are and like what type of person you are, and like people are over that shit. And I'm wondering what those rough waters are behind the scenes. I gotta ask you industry niggas like Wayno, tell me, man.
I don't know nothing about Nicki
They don't fuck with
bag.
Nicki in the industry no more?
You said what?
They don't fuck with Nicki in the industry no more?
I don't know. Like I don't deal with anybody who works
I like
for her.
how he removes himself from the industry so conveniently. The narrative is overact.
Yeah,
No,
like,
I really don't know like about.
brother,
the
I work for
industry.
Warner Brothers.
You always
Like
have a
Nicki's
source.
not
Where are
signed
your
over
sources
there.
now?
I don't know. I thought the industry was done with her when I remember I randomly, that motorsport thing, I randomly got my email. I kid you not. So I don't got no sources like that. I wish I did.
I just say, man, everybody loves a car crash. I don't know if Nicki's. I don't believe Nicki's done as an artist, but it's definitely changed. Like, and that's not from no industry insider info. That's just how I feel. I think it's definitely changed. I don't think that she's lost any ability as an artist. I just know that. Even you said this. Like, after a couple years, people get tired of like, they get tired of an artist and they want another one. And you know, her time in this game, if it was aging well up until that motorsport incident. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing that changed everything.
That was definitely a tipping point. You know, I looked at it, and if y'all don't know, like what's her name again? The Olivia Pope of rap music and just music in general. You know who that is, Karen Civil. And Karen Civil was working with her. I don't know if she still does. But at a point, it felt like Karen Civil had a lid on certain stuff, and then Nicki just fucking turned into the Hulk. So again, whether we want to admit it or not, like that facade, even if that's how she acts behind closed doors or whatever, when you could publicly see it, it's alarming. But we'll see what happens. Never know. A good hit song changes all this shit.
Yeah.
It does. I swear to God. Like,
Yikes,
you come out with a hit, niggas will forget everything that just happened. Everything.
Circle of life.
Last thing on that point, I'm glad she actually said what she said about the Rosa Parks thing, though. Like,
Yeah.
Well, people said she was defending it. Why would Nicki ever apologize for something like that? She said, not true. She didn't apologize at all.
Right. I wasn't bothered by the line. All that, it's Black History Month. Oh, please. The people, like, that don't stop people from doing crazy acts to each other. So let's not act like a fucking line in a song is the tipping point of Black excellence being broken down or some shit. Like, stop it.
all I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Black History Month don't start until Queen Radio start, okay? Whenever Queen Radio start, that's when we gonna get some real Black
Might be some bars for you on there.
You're right, but that's when Black history will be made.
Okay.
For better or for worse.
Wait, how do you know who Olivia Pope is? I'm surprised.
He just heard about Olivia Pope. He never
She's on
watched Scandal. before.
No,
You've
well,
seen Scandal before?
But she's like a cultural icon, even though it's a fictional character. Come on,
Yeah.
y'all think
Well, you know what?
that's
I
what I'm
talk
saying.
about a lot of shows.
Y'all think
and
I'm like
stuff
out
that-
of tune?
I mean, yeah.
I know you
Who
don't
was
watch
this?
television.
Yeah, period.
I mean, of course I knew she was a chick fucking a president, like screwing everything up in politics.
Okay,
Come
shout
on,
out
man.
to Olivia Pope.
So that's what she used to call Karen Civil.
Let's get into some.
No.
All right,
stop it. Let's just move.
see, try to
Time
stop
for some
playing with my
music.
sister, dog.
Time for some music, my friend. Shout out to Karen. So we had Yo Gotti on the show earlier this week. We talked a little bit about his 10th studio album. It's called Untrapped. 15 songs on this. Features from people like Lil Baby, Megan Thee Stallion, Rick Ross, and Estelle. Follow up to his 2017 album, I Still Am. So now that you guys have spent some time with the project, what do you think?
I love it. I say that off the rip. Going back to Meek, Meek said that this is like the old Gotti. You know, this album, of course, he has like his singles on there, right, with the Heaven on Earth and his Pose joint, and even like that with A Boogie and Ty Dolla $ign. But scroll down a little bit so I can see the end. My favorite joints off this shit is the Big Homie and Untrapped. Like, those are the records that kind of define the conversation that we had here with Gotti. You know, I think it's on Big Homie, he says, I don't respect the killer, I respect the hustler. You know, like, the shit that he was saying, I don't know if people understand the importance of his words. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything we talk about as far as the, how can I say, the disparity between the generation now and like my generation or the generation before me is what he's saying on there. Like, you know, you ain't a big homie if you leading your little homies down the wrong path. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you giving them guns to do shit that you wouldn't do. Like, you leading them down the wrong path. And I hope that, like, because Gotti is a older artist, that a young kid, that even if you are listening to a Young Thug or a 21 every day, could tap into this shit and get some game, because I feel like it speaks directly to that young crowd. Like he didn't have to use Uzi on a record to get them to understand that, to get to the young crowd. And other than that, the album is just full with good moments, Dope Cella with Rick Ross, The Weeknd with Moneybagg Yo. It has those dope moments on it, but those records is kind of how I define Gotti right now. That was the best part of it for me.
Yeah, I think he did a pretty good job as an OG trying to connect with everybody.
Right.
So, he had songs like Pose with Meg Thee Stallion, Uzi. Y'all niggas like Uzi. Y'all niggas like Meg Thee Stallion. Listen to this shit. I thought it was a generic song, that song. But, that's not where the album is for me. You feel me? You're not gonna, even, I couldn't wait to hear the song he had with Baby as well. Mm-hmm. And those songs are cool, but it's really, those deep cuts that are kind of, it stands out and kind of, the conversation we had here, which I know some of the viewers are like, man, could y'all stop having? But honestly, I was really impressed with the conversation we had with Gotti. I even posted some of the stuff on my Twitter. I don't post a lot to my Twitter, but some of that game and insight that really only comes from experience and knowledge from experience, fucking up and learning, that is invaluable. And I think Gotti is a definition of that, someone who's lasted the test of time. And when he could sprinkle that through in an album, of course he's not dropping, not saying 444 was preachy, but he's not dropping just oh, let me just give y'all a bunch of gems. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get lit with y'all too.
Right.
But he puts some in there because that's mogul shit. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And Gotti coming here, I didn't really look at him like a rapper. I looked at him more like a mogul, honestly. And maybe somebody's yo, Axe tweaking, but
nah, he's
honestly,
very wise and experienced. And Moneybagg Yo spoke very highly of him when he was on the show too. So he's not just making the shit up.
Yeah, and wherever that fine line is between being just a veteran rapper, someone who's experienced at your craft, and a mogul, which I just kind of define that term as kind of transcending just being a rapper. It's kind of balancing rapper and businessman almost in one. Mm-hmm. I think Gotti's there, and it's dope that he gets to put some of that through his music.
Right.
You get me? True. But he puts it on a subtle level where you could appreciate yo, if y'all want Uzi, we got Uzi. Right. Y'all want this, y'all like candy, we got candy.
Right.
But if y'all want some salad and shit like that, man, y'all vegans, y'all come over here and y'all can get this shit. So I really appreciate this shit. So
that was good, Act.
So I like it.
Yeah.
He said he paid $8 million in taxes. I was like, wow. He said he could look at it, he said he could look at it as a loss, but he's blessed. You know what I mean? It's, I heard $8 million in taxes. I said, God damn.
No, I pocket watch all the time, right? You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean?
Of course.
Y'all know what I
$8 million
mean?
in taxes, that's at least $20 million. Stop playing.
Oof.
Stop playing.
2025.
Yo, congrats to Gotti. So a mogul, a mentor, and now a philanthropist. You know, just things to aspire to. One more album today. So Russ, friend of the show, also dropped a new album last Friday called Shake the Snow Globe. So this is his first full length since we got Zoo in 2018. 12 songs, a lot of dope features, people like Rick Ross, Devin the Dude, and Benny the Butcher. I didn't see that one come in. Some good production on here as well from people like Boy Wonder, Illmind, Russ, of course, and my best friend, Jacob. What do you guys think?
That's dope. I actually went to his album release, his album listening session last week. Yeah. Yep. It was pretty dope. It was an intimate setting, but the production on his album, of course, Russ. Oh, I think Russ always just challenged himself to outdo himself every time. What's that? People call it, and people call him a narcissist. And all. I think he's just obsessed with getting better. You know what I mean? I think that's the only thing he really focuses on, because you can hear it in his production, you can hear it in his songwriting. And even the most shocking part of this album was me seeing Benny the Butcher too. Mm-hmm. But then I also see that Benny the Butcher's going on tour with him. He's taking Benny the Butcher on tour. So I gotta salute him for doing those types of things. One of my favorite joints off of there is Guess What with Ross. The other joint with Benny the Butcher, of course, and the joint with Bia, that really got shit going this year. And to see that he's he's doing more in sales that he did last time. It just shows that he's growing continuously on every level.
I really appreciate this project from Russ, even more than its quality, what it means. Russ is one of those artists, and I'm gonna try to not compare him to other people or really bring other people into that conversation because I feel like he's finally taken a step beyond that. You know, the whole thing about Russ is that the first time I ever saw Russ, I saw Russ on Twitter. And Russ was basically going at it with some dudes. They used to run like, it wasn't like two dope boys. It was
Pigeons
like an
and
old
Planes.
blog.
Pigeons and Planes.
But no, well, Pigeons and Planes
In the
was involved.
Complex Network,
Pigeons and Planes was involved, but he was going back and forth with another blogger,
It was
which
DJ
wasn't.
Booth or something like that. I think I remember what you mean.
Yeah, it wasn't DJ, but it was some other. But he was basically saying, yo, hey, I sent all y'all emails and I try to fuck with y'all. This is right before he had his issue with you, of course, right? But he's like, yo, and none of y'all will fuck with me, and now I'm on. And he's like, yo, the game is past blogs. And that was the thing. And I remember that's when we had the whole discussion. But watching him since then, like he's had this chip on his shoulder. Man, y'all ain't really fuck with me when I really needed it. So kind of like if I made it without y'all, it's kind of for me to talk my shit. I do myself, I this and third, and I'm gonna shit on y'all while I do it. And that chip on the shoulder made him come across arrogant, unlikable. And when you see him get these platinum plaques, his last album sold pretty well. You're like, and you know, he brags about his accolades. Yo, I did 10,000 at the Forum. You're like, so what are you searching for? And what is still making you uncomfortable? Are you still mad that someone didn't see your email, which they honestly never saw?
Right.
Are you still mad that at this point? And this was the album for me that he realized, you know what? Creatively, it's dope to still have a chip on your shoulder, right? And you can still have that, but not be stuck in a point where you're looking at everyone like, yo, y'all all slighted me.
Right.
Like he accepted the position that he's in. And also, I think that came with acknowledging the because he used to be like, I remember one of the conversations we had, he said, yo, Ack, he said, yo, you post a lot of these bozos on your page. You know, and by the way, people used to think like Russ page, Russ never gave me a dime. But I like people that other people hate. No, here's the thing.
That's funny.
No, seriously. He used to say, he says, you post all these dudes on your page. Yeah, they do funny jokes, they do meme shit, they might do some troll shit, but they don't sell records. He says, I'm selling records. Why you just never, like, give me a chance, post me, nigga.
Yeah.
I don't care if people hate, just give me a chance, post me.
Yeah.
And that was his whole mentality. I think here he's finally started to acknowledge like some of his like privileges, like privilege of even being white, privileges of him being successful, owning what success is, right? Like you don't have to be Drake to be or feel successful. And like to compare him to someone, which, you know, I really don't really want to bring this individual into it.
Let me hear it.
But like Wale, like I think Wale's career, I don't think I've seen that point where he's realized how fortunate he is and has said and accepted, despite that other shit, let me use this and still have a chip on my shoulder, but keep going on. Let me not seem whiny. And this was his album for me. If you listen to a lot more, you see him reflecting on some of the riches that life bestows upon him and like what his career has bestowed upon him, but he's not sounding whiny.
So you think people who maybe were turned off from him previously could listen to this project and see how he's moving now and start to change the perception of him?
100%.
Okay.
I think to your point, Ack, what you saying that like with the Wale comparison, it's just that Russ has been kind of quiet and he's just letting the music talk. You know, I think that's the only thing, because Wale.
I think he's lived a little bit too. I heard him on. He did an interview with Russ. You owe me a one-on-one, or at least bring your ass up here. We gotta talk. In reality, like I listened to him on Brilliant Idiots with like Charlamagne and Andrew Schultz, and the clarity and the understanding and even the condemnation of how he used to act in terms of entitledness or, yo, you gotta listen to it. It's a different Russ.
Yeah.
Even also accepting, hey, listen, I know I'm privileged in a certain sense. That's why I have to be held to a certain standard when it comes to the culture. I've never heard Russ talk like that. He was more about why when y'all mention Atlanta rappers, y'all mention me.
Yeah.
You know, it's more about like why and what I'm owed. This was more of him saying, shit, I'm getting a lot. It's about also what I give back, and I thought that was really dope. This whole project is gonna last long. Of course, you got Best on Earth on here. By the way, you gotta listen to the A Lot More track. The joint with Rick Ross is dope too, but the Best on Earth track, that's the one that kind of blew up. Favorite track, whatever the case is. But like this album is gonna last a long time because you're seeing a lot of growth, and if you like growth in someone who you feel is either immature or you feel like they have certain type personality defects, you will like this album in terms of growth.
All right, shout out to Russ.
Shout out to Russ.
As usual, evolution is a beautiful thing, man.
Right.
Good for him. Aki, you want to quickly take us through some numbers, please?
You know when she said that, she's like, yo, nigga, you talk to me.
Wrap it up, B.
We got a couple more stories I want to get through.
Hey, listen, number segment, Roddy Ricch, please excuse me for being antisocial. It was #1 last week. It topped the Billboard Top 200 for the third time, selling 95,000 copies. It actually toppled M in its second week, and M slid to 89,000. Post Malone, Hollywood Bleeding, which came out forever ago.
Hollywood
That
Bleeding
was
still selling like that.
Yeah,
guy?
#5 with 54,000. Mac Miller Circles. #6, 45,000. Rest in peace to him. And of course, on the single side of stuff, you know, Roddy Ricch, The Box, is still at #1 for a 4th consecutive week. You have Drake and Future, Life is Good, which is challenging for #2, and Post Malone Circles #3. I'm interested to see how long Roddy Ricch holds off Future from that #1. I don't, like, you know, I don't know if Roger, he definitely is in my ear, but I don't know if Future's ever had a #1 record.
Yeah.
Huh.
And if Roddy prevents him from having it, you know, Life is Good is gonna be hot for another month. If Roddy prevents him from having it, that means he blocked Bieber, Selena Gomez, and even my man Future.
Is this shit king? Absolutely.
All right, it's Thursday, Friday, so before we go, we want to get through some stories that we've been holding back a little bit on this week, starting with Tekashi 6ix9ine. So, according to TMZ, 6ix9ine wants to move out of New York to a more secure location when he gets home from prison. Sources are telling TMZ that the feds are doing everything in their power they can to actually keep that location hidden. Do you guys believe this? Because I know you think he's about to come home and try to go on another run, so he's going to do it from a secret location? Reno's giggling.
Now let's listen to
What
Wayno, what's the Harlemite saying about this? Okay?
Nigga, I bet he is trying to get the fuck out of New York. What you mean? Of course, man. The funniest thing about Tekashi 6ix9ine, I never seen a more entitled person in my life. Like, he told, yo, can I come home early and do house arrest? Like, damn, nigga, like, and they giving him everything. Like, listen, man. Can he come stay at your house? I just want to know, like.
I'm actually house shopping right now. He cannot come there.
Why can't he come stay at your house?
You live safe at your house?
Already got enough problems. Like, hey, listen, I'm at the
That's your friend, Tekashi.
He can come through if he, like, literally, like, makes the shit, like, bomb-proof.
Oh,
okay,
my
cool.
God.
So give me, like, about $3 million. We'll renovate and make it bomb-proof. Yeah, come through. Anyway.
Does this make you think he's not really trying to lay low? Like, is he trying to lay low when he comes home for real?
Okay, clearly he's not trying to stay. Like, it was shocking to me when I like, at the height of his success, like, right before he got locked up, he was living, like, basically in the hood in Brooklyn. That should baffle me. I kept saying to the motherfucker, like, yo, come to Jersey. Let me show you somewhere. Let me show you some real estate, nigga. Like, I know living in New York might have you, like, mentally trapped, but shit, this is not where a superstar
Is New
lives.
Jersey far enough, though? Should he go to
No, he should not go to Jersey.
Why.
Montana?
He shouldn't go because they wouldn't have been able to hear him scream.
Hey, listen, honestly, I don't think, this is what I think
Let me
he goes.
stop. I'm going to leave this nigga alone.
He should go Midwest. Wyoming, maybe hanging out with Kanye. Some ranch. The goons are not coming to the ranch.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not coming to Wyoming. You're safe there. But I don't think this is the motherfucker who picks a safe route in anything he does.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think he hits a hot spot to live.
So this
Miami?
is all
I'm serious.
Miami? Oh, no.
LA,
Oh, no.
definitely not Chicago. He's not in Chicago. Or
You ever seen Casino?
upstate New York.
You ever seen Casino?
Upstate.
Upstate New York's not far enough. Shit's like 3 hours away.
Buffalo?
That is a day trip.
Yo, you ever seen
not far
Casino
enough.
before? You seen what happened to one of them dudes that moved to Miami?
I hear what you're saying.
That was working with the
Yo,
feds?
I hear what you're saying.
So where's this coming from, academics? Is he trying to distract us and trick us all into thinking that he's hiding out in Montana, but really he's going to be in Miami?
That nigga gonna be right here. What is y'all talking about?
Oh, man.
He gonna be right here.
Goodness.
Listen, I'm telling yo, people doubting him too much. That kid is fucking crazy. Because I promise you, he gonna be living right on 42nd Street, right by the West Side Highway.
He gonna be in Wayno's gated community.
Now you know what the fuck he ain't?
Why not?
No, he's not.
Suppose he moved in.
Or I would
What do you
fucking
mean
petition for him to get the fuck out.
Yo, you see him moving, like, what up,
petitioning.
Wayno?
I'm petitioning.
Now he would
Yo,
turn
talk
into
about our new
middle-aged
song today.
suburban
Nope,
mom.
I'm petitioning.
Get him out of here.
Get the fuck
Petitioning.
about it. Yeah,
Taking over the neighborhood.
You know, we got the whole, we
The
got
neighborhood watch?
Not the neighborhood watch. No. See here, don't try to
So
trick
you
me
gonna
up
tell
with that.
him?
No, see, no. We're not doing that.
Suburban mom
They got
right
the
now.
board in the community, and everybody get the shit. When my dog was running around biting other dogs, they fucking call the ASPCA on me for my dog. So guess what? We gonna have a conversation. I'd be like, this nigga cannot live here.
Yo.
He's a
Wayno
danger to the
6'9".
community.
Wayno 6'9" on 6'9".
Watch your mouth, academics.
Man, if you're still interested in hearing more about 6ix9ine, Complex does have an exclusive Spotify. Complex has an exclusive podcast series. It's narrated by Angie Martinez, and it's on Spotify if you want to go check that out. It takes
What
you through the
else
whole...
don't we know?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is
I
one of
don't
those
know.
things where, like, yo, I think we're 6'9" out, pause, until he gets out, and it's gonna be another chat. Like, yo, it's like the next season of Narcos. Like, let's chill in the off season until it happens.
Now I ain't gonna lie, this has been like one of the best like true crime stories ever.
Wayno, if he asks you for suggestions, I'm telling him to come to where you live at.
No, the fuck you ain't.
All right. Speaking of rappers and legal issues, so this week Game got on Twitter to say he's basically spent a small fortune on legal fees over the past few years. This is very depressing. He says, quote, spent over $12 million in lawyer fees since the beginning of my career. My advice to the new generation of artists is walk away. Seen the most gangster dudes in the world sued.
I can believe that.
12 million.
I can believe that.
Plus taxes.
That's very good advice. Unfortunately, the same reason why he's at this point, and by the way, you know, he has many lawsuits pending, actually many judgments that they want him to pay out, which is ridiculous. Unfortunately, the reason why he's at this point is the reason why other people won't listen to him. With money, with fame, like, you actually...
Feel invincible.
Yeah. Like, do you remember, even though, you know, obviously different artists, not like gangster like Game, but do you remember Kanye saying to the paparazzi, I could punch you in the fucking face and give you whatever, I'll throw you the 50,000 or whatever it is and just deal with that. And that's how unfortunately a lot of celebrities think about it. Hey, if I fuck you up, that's just
It's like a parking ticket.
Yeah, it's like an $80,000 check, but I make that in the show. It's worth making an example. So, you know, the Game, we've seen him in multiple fights, this and third, like someone who is, you know, clearly there was a point where he didn't give a fuck about. He was fighting that basketball game.
I feel him. I mean, I feel him, but there's definitely, like, if I was in his, it's definitely a few people's ass I would whip for 80K, like, to give that away.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Like, if
Yo, wait on, man.
Wait, but
If
how
I
many?
gotta talk to
How
you. You
many?
good?
Not
It's
enough.
not
Not
that
enough to total $1 million or anything,
Nah,
right?
I don't
So
know.
that's cool.
I got a
really.
good two. I got a good two people.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, I got a good two.
$160.
Like right now, if
80,000?
listen, if an altercation would cost me 5 bands, I got like 15 right now for a few altercations I want.
But for 80K,
A
you
few.
got 2.
Yeah, not 80.
I have
80's
one,
a
I
lot.
think. One for
No,
50.
Wayno gotta go to
50.
therapy.
I do. I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to start. No, I'm about to start going.
I could tell. This
I'm about
shit
to
is
start
some
going.
deep-seated shit that's going on right here.
No, I'm about
because
to-
I'm thinking about it. I've realized, you know, I just realized I'm cheap as shit.
How you just realized that? There are only 2 things that I find out that you spend money on. I'm not going to expose it to the public here.
I don't know what you're
Only
talking about.
2 things.
Listen, I'm a businessman, so I do spend money on business things.
Right.
But I realize, like, personally, I'm like mad cheap. I've been trying to get a chain recently, but like,
Stop it.
Yeah, I
Please don't
heard
get
my,
it.
my,
Please
my
don't
one
get
of
a
my
chain.
jewelers that
No,
buy
I
stuff from
don't
told
do
me.
this.
He
No,
said,
no,
he said, what's good? What's going on?
Why?
What you doing?
Why?
just tell me I don't got that much.
Nah.
You got
You
it.
gotta do no stop.
Nah.
Wait, no, don't
He
stop.
got it.
Don't do that.
Okay, but look, he has to do like a full wardrobe upgrade before you can.
Yeah, you
have
can't be wearing a chain
Come on,
with
dog.
like with that
I'm
outfit.
wearing the chain with this.
Nah, you can't do
It look
that.
different when I'm shining.
Nah, man, you can't do
Look
that.
different when I'm shining, Wayno.
You can't.
Wayno, your little hipster outfit look different with a rollie.
Tyrone Biggums.
Yeah, that's what they
With
call
some
me.
money.
Tyrone Biggums with
Wayno
money.
be coming here look like he going to LA Fitness about to drop 30 in a pickup game, but he got the rollie. Now he look like he
Hey,
fly.
man, it's all about
I'm telling you, man, I learned from you, nigga.
It's all about presentation. I want you to get a nice watch.
Wayno been rocking beanies for the last 2 months. He used to rock fitteds at first. We haven't seen this thing.
It's
with a-
cold outside.
Right,
What the
nigga.
fuck? Wait till you see the next watch, though, right? It's gonna be disgusting.
Y'all hear this? I'm going to Complex Finance. I'm gonna see what's going on here, man. Hold on.
Finance.
Yo, I copped this shit off Amazon. I don't even know if the shit ticket no more. Hold on. God damn. Okay, so working.
All right.
All right, man. So it is Thursday, Friday, and I'm glad we're all in a good mood and like joking about silly shit. But like on a serious note, really quick, I do want to say rest in peace to Jay Scott. So in a post from A$AP Rocky earlier this week, we learned that the Mob's longtime DJ and producer passed away on Sunday night. We don't have any details yet, but I just want to say like, I don't really like a lot of people in the industry, and I really, really love Jay Scott. He was just like a very sweet, very kind person. We would like sit outside and drink green juices, and he would talk to me about small things I could do to like live a healthier lifestyle in this crazier industry. Just like real human conversation, like a really, really good person. Looked at my text messages the other day and I realized the last one was at Coachella. Us trying to link up, but us both being busy. He was DJing and stuff and we couldn't. It just breaks my heart. Like we just lost a really, really great one, and I want to say condolences to all of his friends and his family.
Yeah, condolences to Jay Scott. I came across the brother a few times. You know, when A$AP first started around like 2011, seeing them in Irving Plaza, seeing them in SOBs, like, you know, we never really had a lot of conversation, but every time I passed him and we spoke, it was good energy. Him and Yams, you know. It was always good energy with those guys. So, you know, to the whole A$AP collective, hold your heads, 12E, love you, bro. You know, keep pushing.
And listen, when I could tell Nadeska, like, Nadeska's like my sister, so like the way how Nadeska cared about this, I knew this was super important, and you know, I didn't know him, but I could tell this was probably a genuine person, because the only people she connects with in that type of capacity is like people who are genuine. So,
absolutely,
you know, rest in peace to, of course him and everybody else who's affected by it. I send my condolences as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell your people that you love them, man.
Absolutely.
We're losing too many great ones recently. On that note, be good, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you here Monday on Everyday Struggle.